We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. You are wonderful. You are worthy, O Lord. You are wonderful. You are worthy, O Lord. You are wonderful. You are worthy, O Lord. You are wonderful.
Dear Heavenly God, we come to your throne of mercy this morning with thanksgiving in our heart, for you have been a good God to us, O Lord. Thank you for the gift of life that you have given unto us, O Lord. Thank you for good health that you have given unto us, King of glory, God. We thank you and we honor your holy name, O King of glory, God. Twagucokeria ngatho nĩ tha ciaku mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha Ngai nĩ gũtũhotithia ona tũkinye nyũmba-inĩ yaku mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ Ngai witũ. Nĩ tũramenya nĩ tha na hinya waku mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha itũhotithĩtie tũgakorwo twĩho mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha. Nĩ twauga nĩ wega Ngai, twauga nĩ wagĩrĩire Mwathani, ona makĩria nĩ gũkinyanĩria mũthenya ũyũ wa ũmũthĩ Ngai witũ. Jehova Ngai, nĩ tũkĩte nyũmba yaku mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha, ngoro citũ ikĩenda Jesũ witũ gũcemania nawe na gũthoma mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha. Tũrakũhoya Mwathani na tũka-invite your presence in this household, Lord. Jehova Ngai, ririkana ngoro ya o ũmwe witũ wĩ haha Ngai witũ. Jehova Ngai, kĩrĩa o kĩrĩa gũtanyĩte Mwathani tũrahoya akiuma gũkũ Jesũ witũ akorwo akĩricivĩte Ngai witũ. Thengio nĩ tha ciaku mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha. Thengio na nĩ gũkinyanĩria mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ Ngai. Tũrahoya ũharĩrie ngoro citũ mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha, nĩguo na kĩrĩa tũgũthoma gĩtuĩke gĩa gũtũteithia Ngai witũ. Amũkĩra ngumo na ũgoci Ngai, nĩ tha na hinya waku mũthĩnjĩri ũrĩ tha. Tũrahoya Jesũ witũ tũkĩanjia wanjanie na ithuĩ Mwathani, ũtwarane na ithuĩ na ũrĩkanĩre hamwe na ithuĩ Mwathani. Nĩ ũndũ wa wega na ũtugi waku nĩkĩo twacokia ngatho.
Praise God. We have had a full week. I don't know kama mume watch. So what was the first day? It was God at the center of family. The second one was loss and grief. The third one was addiction. The fourth one was parenting in the 21st century. The fifth one was family finance and stewardship. The sixth one, which is today, is family law. Who is doing it? One of our own. And I just want to give a brief as I welcome her. That Wanjiku Nduati is a partner at Wanjiku and Wanjiku Advocates, a law firm based in Nairobi. She specializes in law firm and commercial and also serves on the boards of several private companies. Wanjiku is a committed Christian, and community leader and a proud mother of 3. She brings integrity, empathy, and practical wisdom to both her legal practice and leadership roles. Amen? Let us welcome her as she comes and speak to us. Wanjiku, karibu sana.
Thank you, Elder. Good morning. I'll introduce myself once again, but I'm not introducing myself to people who don't know me. I am Wanjiku Nduati, and I'm born again. I'm saved this morning. I love the Lord. because of his mercies and have seen him in the journey of life. I am a member of this congregation, so you know I'm not a stranger here. And I thank God for this community of the faithful. I have seen my journey of faith grow because of working with you. Thank you so much, and I thank you, the Women Guild members, for coming to support me with the headscarves. Thank you so much. May God bless you. I'll just go on into the topic, and I'll start by where Elder Faye has left. The topic of discussion today, the foundation was laid by Mchungaji on Monday. And he talked about family, he talked about children, and his main theme was God at the center of the family. He began by saying that we are built in the image of God, both man and wife, in the image of God, both of us, not just the man. We are both built in the image of God. And then he told us that God is the one who ordained, who designed marriages. He's the one who designed marriages. He called our children divine assignments. And then he told us, for God, family comes first. There is something profound he said, and that will be the basis of my conversation. A community that diminishes half its population improvises itself. In Kiswahili, because I can't say it in Kikuyu. Can I even translate it into Kiswahili? I can't. It would have been better in Kikuyu. But what he meant is, if you're going to disenfranchise a half of your population, then you're going to be poor. And when he was talking about that, he was talking about how most societies disregard women, because it's not about men. And I am very sorry for the men who are listening to me. We rarely find a society that men are disregarded. It's only the women who have a disadvantage. So when he was talking, I felt he was talking to our society where men disregard women. And therefore, a society becomes poor because half its population does not have. You can't hear? Huh? Iko na base. Goje. IT. Or we move closer. I try. Is that better? Is that better? That's better? You can hear me better? Or I'm the one who... Can you... Chances are you people can't hear, even the ones online can't hear very well. But if you can't hear, even the ones online can't hear very well. Isn't it?
Okay, check. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Is that better? Quite loud. It's very loud. Anyway, where were we? So I was talking about the foundation laid by the Mchungaji. Then we went to the second day where Mr. Ratemo talked about loss. And he talked about different kind of losses. And you'll find that the law comes in when there is loss of trust, loss of communication, loss of respect. That's where the law comes. Loss of people, loss of property. That's where the law comes. Then Mr. Moro, the next day he talked about addiction, and he talked about many addictions, substance, emotional. He talked about many forms of addiction, and addiction, he said it is actually lack of responsibility if you listened to him in his summary. So again, the law comes in when you talk about such things. When you are unable to govern yourself, then the law will check you. So that is what he talked about. Then Professor Catherine talked about children and parenting. You link that to what Mchungaji said, that children are an assignment. And the law provides how you should treat your children. You just don't treat them the way you want, like they are your property. The law will come in and tell you no. So actually from the Constitution itself, the rights of the children are recognized. And the rights are against the parents, not against the government. It's against you. Those children you have, they're not yours. The Constitution protects them. Then we come to Peter Kiro yesterday, family finances and how we steward, debt management, family budgeting, all that. And if you listened to him, what he was saying is family finances needs to be managed together. And the issues that she was talking about is when we don't manage family finances and steward them together, then we have problems, and that's where the law comes. And if you look, therefore, at all those topics, then you understand the foundation was laid for me. So now, how do we apply the law to all these topics? That is why I am here. That is why I am here. And I'll start where it began with marriage. Under the law, there are 5 kinds of marriages, 5. I will not talk about 2 because they don't concern us. One is Islamic, the other one is Hindu, they don't concern us. I'll talk about the 3 that concern us. The first one is Christian, which is between one man, one woman. The other one is civil. Now, civil is the one you go to the AG's office and you get married there. Again, that one is between one man, one woman. Then we have the customary. Customary is between one man and as many as he can. One man and as many as he can. Not one woman and as many men as she can. That is not allowed under the law. It is bigamy, it's a crime. That is how society is engineered. One man, as many as he can. I want to talk about one. That is where we find many women in this country. Come we stay. Cohabitation. We find most of our women in that one. It is not a marriage. And how will you know it's not a marriage? When he dies or when he marries another one. That is when you will know you have just been keeping somebody warm. Nothing he has is yours. The only thing you have are the children. Nothing else. If you are in a marriage that is not the 3 I've talked about, civil, Christian, customary, you do not have a husband and you don't have a wife. You are just people who are living together. Customary. Under the current law, customary has to be registered. You have to have a certificate under the law now. Before, it was you take an affidavit. That doesn't count. Again, when you say customary, what do you mean? Did you go through all the steps required under your custom? I'll talk about the Kikuyu. Did you do Rurasio and Gurario? If you did, then that's a marriage. But if you went to just tell the parents, and then you left, you don't have a marriage. The termination or the recognition of that marriage is Gurario and Rorasho and Gurario following each other. So if you did not finish that ceremony, again, you're cohabiting. You don't have a marriage. So, my point is, look for a way to make that union formal. Go to the AG, look for a mchungaji. Just go and get a marriage certificate. Because when we are laughing, there is no problem. We are laughing, we are good. But in the case of absence, and we have seen this, a man dies, his relatives come. After 20 years, they tell you, Faith, who told you got married here? And they chase you away. And you go to court, you try to say, oh, I have photos, we went for a wedding together. Oh, we have children, the firstborn is 20. And the judge looks at you and tells you, Akuna, you are not married. And it becomes very difficult, especially for you and the children, when their mother is being told, you were never our father's husband. It's very painful. So I wish then women can realize that it's just one piece of paper and it will make a lot of difference in your lives. A lot of difference for you and your children. So please, 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 let's go for registration of those marriages. Now, under Kenyan law, you have to be over 18 for you to get married. If you're contracting a customary marriage, it's okay if he has another wife, but he cannot marry you under Christian and civil if he has another wife, unless he divorces. Now, come we stay, that's where the problem comes. You live with a man for 20 years, and then he wakes up one day, he takes another woman to the AG's office or to church. You've seen those dramas in our churches. He has capacity to marry. He didn't marry you. So he's single, really, under the law. So he will leave you in the house and go and marry another woman in church. And it is a monogamous marriage he has contracted. So therefore you don't count. He has erased your 20 years, effectively. So he has capacity to marry. So if you can contract these two, the Christian single and the civil marriage, it makes life tidy for everybody. Very, very tidy. I'll go to, I don't know whether I go to property or I go to children, because I want us to talk more about property, but let me go to property. That is section 2, Mureithi. And we are talking about matrimonial property. Now, the first thing about matrimonial property is that word matrimonial. Matrimonial means marriage, isn't it? So if you're not married, do you have property? If it's come, we stay. Do you have property together? No, you don't, isn't it? So what is the first thing if you're asking for property? Proof of marriage. You have to prove that you are married to this man who you're asking for property from, isn't it? Now, if you are come, we stay. Utapeleka nini before the court to say that we are married? I'm claiming property on basis of marriage. You don't have anything. You're taking stories. The judge will listen, but proving that marriage becomes a cause of many tears. And we have seen it in our courts. Women crying. Cases go up to the Supreme Court. And the courts have pronounced this form of marriage is not recognized under the law. So women, please, 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 formalize your unions. Now, if you ask me, looking at the law, I'll tell you one thing. There is nothing like matrimonial property. And when I say that, there are people who look at me like I don't know the law. But when you apply the decisions that are coming out of the courts now, there is nothing like matrimonial property. And I'll begin by when you get married, so that I can demonstrate to you there is nothing. So supposing when you got married, you had your piece of land, he had his, ulikuwa umepewa na baba yako before you got married. When you get married, that property does not transfer to him or her. It remains yours. Whatever he had before you got married, it remains his. Absolutely. The marriage certificate does not change that. It will remain his. The only thing that will happen if you develop it, let's say you decide to build a house, the only thing you can claim is the house. But that land will remain yours, Faith, or it will remain Mr. Jaos. It will never become yours. You can only claim the amount you put in if you develop. What if you never develop? You can't claim it. So you may have 20 pieces of land, and you are saying ours, very busy farming, but there is nothing like that. It is not ours. It is yours or it is his. That is before you got married. What happens after you get married? What the law says, there is equality in marriage, and there is matrimonial property. But the courts have interpreted that equality is under Article 45, so Article 3 of the Constitution, that spouses have equality, they have equal rights. But the courts have interpreted that to mean fairness. So what is fairness? You got married, you got a piece of land in Kamulu, you didn't have money, he's the one who bought it, registered it in his name. God blessed you, you managed to put up a house, you didn't have money, he borrowed, he put up a home, you've lived there for 20 years. Then Agashungwa comes, things happen, isn't it? We were told in this world you'll have trouble. And divorce and separation and all that, they are one of the troubles that come to us, isn't it? And he goes, you've lived there for 20 years. And you're saying that's your home. You go to court. Mrs. Njau was a teacher. She was earning. But there is no evidence at all she can give to show that she even bought a bag of cement, putting up that house. What will the court tell you? Where are you taking your money? What is your contribution to putting up this house? That is what I'm saying, fairness. Contribution. There is no 50-50. The people who told you there is 50-50, it was a lie. There is no 50-50. Contribution, and contribution is two. I've named them. There is monetary, there is non-monetary. Monetary is clear, isn't it? I bought 10 bags of cement. I'm able to show that, isn't it? Monetary is quite clear. Non-monetary is where the problem comes. Nilikuwa nachunga watoto. Shati zake nilikuwa naosha. How? You had a house girl. You were working. Ulikuwa unachunga watoto siku gani? Do you see? Yeah? I was going to the shamba when? On Saturday, and you used to go together and you stand there and you start and you come out. Unaona zile ng'ombe, hamjachunga vizuri. Where is your contribution? That is those questions I'm asking is what the court will ask you. Where is your contribution? Show us your contribution. Isn't it? So if you can be able to demonstrate it's 10%, he will retain 90%. And most of the time, women are given 10 and 20. And most of the time I see like the judges look at them and say, oh yeah, 20 years, oh yeah, let me just give you that 10. It's not based on anything most of the time. So this is where the problem comes. That contribution, that is why I'm saying there's nothing like matrimonial property. Because you have to show how did you acquire, what was your participation, what did you do in acquisition of these properties. And these are decisions that are coming from the highest court in the land. You have to demonstrate contribution. I know I'm breaking most of your hearts, but I am saying the law as it is. Now, Elder Faith mentioned inherited land and property. It doesn't matter when it was inherited, whether before or after marriage, it will never belong to the other person. It remains in the hands of the person who was given. If it's a home, it's a land, money, unless he decides to transfer to you. If he decides, I was given, but we can own it jointly, it's up to the person who was given to share it with the other person. It cannot be claimed by the other person. Now, I've finished about contribution, and I know that's where your questions will come from, so keep them. I will be ready to answer them. I will go to the next topic, but I want to re-emphasize that when it comes to property and a claim for matrimonial property, please keep this in mind in your head. The first thing, proof of marriage. Please keep that you have to prove a marriage. If you can't prove a marriage, don't even attempt. You will spend your money and time in court, painful. Don't even attempt. If you can't, it is difficult, very, very difficult. If you're not married, to prove a marriage. Very, very difficult. I want us to go to the section on children. It's not a lot. Like I said, children have rights under the Constitution. I think Article 53 is a article there of the Constitution. They have rights, and those rights are against first, the parent, second, the state, but mainly the parent. These rights are upon both parties, the man and the woman, and they are shared. They are shared, not equal. They are not equal. Your responsibilities to your children are not equal. They are shared. And I mean this. If the woman is the one who has a lot of money and the children are in school, pay school fees. Wanawake, lipeni school fees. It's not a must that it is a man who has to pay school fees. This week I had a judgment against a woman. She was told to pay school fees for her children. This week too. Pay school fees. Your pocket is deeper. Children cannot stay at home because you have to go to Jama. I'll take you to court and the court will tell you to pay school fees. Kwa sababu wewe ndio uko na pe. So responsibility is shared. Men, take care of your children. Peleka msichana salon. Who says that you cannot enter there and sit and wait for your children, for your daughter for her to be done? She's your daughter. Yes, you are her parent. So it is shared. It is not equal. So who can do what is what should guide you. You understand? It's not the duty of only one person. Oh, mwanamke ndio analea watoto. Hapana. The law says it's both of you. That's what the law says. The law intervenes equally again when you do not take care of your children. They're not going to school. You're not emotionally taking care of them. The law intervenes. If you neglect your children, nowadays the children's department is a bit serious, not the way it was before. You'll find yourself in court charged in case of anything. So again, I'll leave that. If you have any questions on that, the topic of children is quite huge. I'll leave that to you. I want to mention, let's go to the next slide. I want to mention about domestic abuse. And the reason why I'm mentioning this, yes, I understand we're Christians and we're guided by the principles of the Bible, but life happens, and it happens to all of us. Circumstances come, we are human, there's violence. Now, the law says you can't. That's what the law says. There is actually one. Men and women sat in parliament and said no. They brought a law. That law, Faith, I can kick you out of your house using that law. A house that you live in, a house that maybe you have bought, a house that you own, using that law. I'll go to court. I say, umepiga bwana, nipeleke P3, na polisi akuja kutoe. You go and look for somewhere to stay. And it is your house. So let's mind each other. Yes, I'll kick you out. And you'll be given time. You'll be told, go for counseling. Temper, imetulia. Rudi tuone vile utabehave. Yes, you'll be kicked out. And it happens a lot nowadays. And then if that does not check, then we have the criminal justice system, which protects anybody against violence. So I'm just mentioning it so that we can know out there that we are not helpless. The law looks into how to manage cases of violence. The last topic I want to talk about, and I'm going a bit fast because I really want to surrender the topic to questions from you. I want to talk about succession. Succession is mainly after the loss of one of the parties or even both. And it is governed by two methods. You can leave a will, or you can decide, or you can, well, most people don't write wills. I don't know why in the African culture we don't write wills. But it's good to write a will. As much as a will will be challenged in court, but it gives guidance. It's good to write a will. And now I want to mention that in both cases, whether you write a will or you don't write a will, when somebody dies, you have to go to court. His property belongs to the law. From the point that person dies, you touch it, it's a criminal offense. You have to go to court for succession so that the court can decide, did he leave a will? If he left a will, this is what he said we do with his properties. If he didn't leave a will, it is for all. The court decides eventually. The court decides who gets what. I want to talk about a will. My experience is be fair. If you're writing a will, and please do, especially the men. Men are the ones who bring problems. Yes, I'm saying that. But please write, because I'll give you an example of a very prominent man. He wrote a will and left everything to his 4 children. But he had 2 others. And everybody knew them. Everybody knew them. And there were even some, one of them was even older than his children. And then the other one was an age mate to one of his daughters. I'm talking about people who are in their 60s. But he left everything to the 4 in his will. The other 2, it was not even about money. I think they just felt slighted. They went to court. And now the court is saying, the other family said, no, you're not our fathers. And they know. You're not our father's children. And they know. They know. The court has said, okay, let's go for DNA. Now, where is the DNA coming from? We have to go to the person tulizika, tumtoe kwa kaburi, tutoe DNA. Now, it is so difficult because I can't even mention who it is. It is so difficult imagining that man can be exhumed. Now, the question then goes back to him. Why did he write a will and leave out 2 of his children? Do you see? That was a dispute that was avoidable if he had only been fair. Because they are his. We all know they are his. Even me, I know they are his. They are his. So let's be fair in our dealings. And what I tell people, you don't start planning for succession when you're in your 80s. Then you're thinking sasa Mungu ako karibu kuniita. No. Start now. Start talking to your children. You know, you don't even have to really give them, but start talking to them. Start telling them, you know, when I'm not there, please be fair to each other. You know, you come out, you cannot have everything. Remember your sisters. You understand? Start talking to them. Start talking to your wife. And you can even tell your wife, and you know, before I married you, nilikuwa na kijana. In the village, it happens, isn't it? Start talking to your wife and tell your wife, niko na kijana ako miaka 20. So when I'm not there, akikuja, mpatie kitu. You understand? Start talking, start preparing, communicate. It helps. You know, maybe you don't want to write a will, but prepare and plan. Isn't it? Now, how does the succession go? We have very many problems in our succession law because we say it is in priority. It comes start the spouse, the children, parents or siblings, and then any other. Now, spouse. Under the law, the spouse is left with the personal effects and then a life interest in everything else. Now, we don't implement that. Life interest means hiyo handbag yangu nimekupatia until you die. When you die, it goes to my children. That's what the law says. But it is problematic. I actually don't want to say so loudly so that people don't know. We never implement it. You can see the problem. Umeachia bibi vitu to hold until she dies. Na vijana. Umewambia nini? In our society, you leave millions with your wife and you tell your children to wait until your wife dies. That's what the law says. But we try not to implement it because of, we just try to be fair. But that's what it says. Now, children, let's go to the Constitution. We hear, and this comes from the men, but my sisters are married. What are they inheriting? We've heard of that many times, isn't it? The law talks about children. It does not talk about male, female. It says children. So whether she's married, whether she's single, if they have inherited with the husband where she's married, she will inherit her father or mother equally with the men. There is no discrimination based on anything. That's what the law says, and that's what we follow, and that is where we have problems. Now I want to talk about others. And we know others. I've given you an example. Those others, they just need to prove that they are yours. If they are your children and you did not mention them, they will keep your family in court forever. You will find the people who benefit from your properties ni sisi mawakili, because tumefunga huko, it will never ever benefit your children. So let's learn to plan. Let's learn to succession plan, and writing a will or even talking to people is not hard. I tell people it is really not hard, and it will save everybody a lot of trouble. Now, I will summarize and say this. Marriage. Before you get married, who is this person you're married? Most of us are married, but maybe they're out there. There are some out there who are not. They're single. So I'll talk to you and ask you, who is this person you're marrying? Do you know them? What are their values on children? What are their values on family? What are their values on property? What do they think about you as a woman? What do they think of you as a daughter-in-law? Who is their mother? Who is their brother? Do we ask those questions? Sometimes we don't. Premarital counseling helps. because then you have an opportunity to ask yourself all those questions, to ask each other all those questions. And marital counseling also comes in again after you get married. Maybe you go in and you find, huyu alikuwa nani? Go for counseling. Before we get to the Domestic Abuse Act, and I am throwing you out of your house, Faith, go for counseling. It is important so that you can get to know this person. What is their emotional, how are they emotionally intelligent? How do they deal with conflict? How do they deal with depression? When they are broke, what do they do? Go for counseling. You'll find that these are things you'll learn when you're talking with somebody. About children, get to understand what the law says. Most of us don't. Most of us don't. You know, we are heading to a point where our children will start taking us to court for beating them. We are heading there. Jennifer will take parents to court. Let's understand our law. You know, you may hit your child and you'll find yourself in trouble. So understand that. Again, succession planning. Succession planning. I've suggested a few things you can do. Talk to people. Even talk to your brothers. Talk to your mother and your father. If you've been supporting them in your lifetime, the law will say you have to. The wife will have to continue supporting them. Talk to them. Tell your wife, every month I give my parents 20,000. In case I'm not there, please don't fight over it. You know, talk to your brothers. Tell them, mali yangu ni yangu na bibi na watoto, and make it clear. So that when you're gone, your children are not, and your wife is not out of the home the following day. So that is planning, isn't it? Be open. Be open. Violence, gender-based violence usually affects women negatively. Seek counseling again. Talk to somebody. Talk to Wanjiku. She will not take the man to court. She may know a counselor who will help you. Talk to Elder Faith. She will help. Let's not stay and die on the inside, because first, we're Christians. God hates divorce. But there is something Muchugaji said, very interesting. God hates divorce, but he does not hate his children, even when life happens. He said that. And it was very, very profound. That even after divorce happens, God doesn't stop loving you. You're not you're not any less his child because he hates divorce. It is divorce he hates, not you. It's not you because now you're single or now because you're divorced. So God loves his children. It doesn't matter the circumstances. So if you are in that situation where there is abuse going on, please speak out. Talk, communicate. What have I left out? I will go back to what Muchugaji said. A community that diminishes half its population becomes poor. That's where I'll end. And when I say that, you have seen where I've come from. In a community that, it will become poor. And a community includes a family. If you're not working together, husband and wife, you'll not go far. And that's what the gentleman said yesterday, stewardship. We have to learn to steward each other. Thank you so much. I think I'll end there and invite questions from you. Thank you so much. I want to pass pieces of paper for those who are not brave enough, like Anne Mwangi, to ask a question. I am waiting for the question.
Okay, thank you very much, Wanjiku. Now, my heart goes to the children. You have just told us, okay, life happens. How do you help a child? Okay, what does the law say about in case parents separate? Now, what does the law say about the custody? Custody of children. I've experienced where parents are fighting over children, where they even go to court about the same. What does the law say about